This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey everybody, welcome to Beauties and Headcanons, where we're nerdy and you probably are too. I'm Emily, and today I'm here with my awesome nerdy husband, Paul.
Hey everybody.
Woo woo, good to have you on the show. And we're in like the same room, which is not normal for me. Normally I have guests on, or I'm, Skyping with somebody. So this is awesome to just actually be sitting in the same room with my co-host, guest host.
It's like we're having a real conversation.
I know, because we can see each other and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome.
So welcome to our real conversation together. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Before we get rolling with the whole show, though, I do want to tell you guys that Erica will no longer be on the show as a host. So we had wonderful times with her, and it was excellent. And she decided to leave the show on her own terms. We're still, on good terms and everything like that. She just decided that she needed to focus in other areas. So we wish Erica the best of luck, and we will miss her so much.
I miss you, Erica. You are awesome. I love listening to your podcasts. So.
Yeah. Super awesome, but she's going to be awesome doing other things for a little while, and she did say she'd be interested in guest hosting from time to time. So you haven't
Erica,
heard,
come back.
You haven't heard the last of her.
Yes. All right, can't wait to hear more from you, Erica.
Whoop whoop. Yeah. But today's episode is going to be pretty cool because we are going to do a nerdy year in review of 2017, since we just wrapped up 2017 and we are just now beginning 2018. So we're going to also do a nerdy preview of 2018 as well.
Oh yeah.
So let's get rolling. Paul, go ahead and talk with our first couple things here.
Sweet. All right. So we did have a lot of big things happen here in 2017 for us nerds. I'm more on the gaming side of things, so I think I'll talk about some of those. For all you console fans, we had some huge console releases. The Xbox One X, you can debate whether or not that was huge, but it is supposedly the most powerful console out there. Not a whole lot changing as far as content, but it is kind of a cool system. I've seen some pretty awesome reviews out there by some of my other friends that do review videos and things like that. But I think the biggest console release, of course, would be the Nintendo Switch coming out. Also, there's some controversy with that one of just how big that was, because, pretty much anybody who bought the Nintendo Switch got it for like Breath of the Wild or one or two exclusive other games here. And Breath of the Wild isn't even exclusive to the Switch, but I've heard amazing things about the Switch and how fun it is, and I can't wait to get one for ourselves. Mm-hmm. So as far as consoles goes, those were two huge releases. Also, I'm not sure if this was 2017, so I should fact check this. Maybe you can fact check me on this. But Horizon Zero Dawn, that came out as an console exclusive PlayStation 4 exclusive item here, and I've seen videos of that and heard some reviews from some of my gamer friends that played that a lot, and it looks like a fantastic game. So beautiful. What else we have here as far as the gaming world?
Well, how about some PC?
Some PC, right on.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a PC gamer myself. One of my favorites to watch some of the streamers here. One of the biggest streaming hits and PC game sensations of 2017 is lovingly known as PUBG, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. It's kind of an open world brawler. If you've ever kind of wondered what it would be like to be in Hunger Games, it's kind of like that. You just, for those of you who have never seen it, or heard of it, you pretty much just get parachuted onto an island and have to find guns and stuff and basically try to be just the last person or last team alive on the island. So it's exciting, it's fun, very intense, and it's a multiplayer sensation that really took off in 2017. If you follow Twitch or any of the video game streaming, it is always like the number 1 or to like number 5 top streamed game. Always. Cuphead. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, Cuphead. Okay, so we have a 3.5-year-old daughter and a little over 1-year-old son. Our daughter, who's 3.5, loves playing Cuphead so much.
And it sounds like the name is kind of a funny, silly name, and it is a silly game, but it is also one of the hardest video games in the world out there right now. It's just a kind of a simple platformer. It's really easy to like get the controls. That's not tough, but the puzzles and platforms it tries to get you through is just insanely difficult. And the art is fantastic because every single frame was hand drawn in like that classic like 1920s, 1930s cartoon style with the over accentuated like facial features and
it's like the
corny gestures,
the Prohibition cartoon era. So it's kind of like the really early Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yeah, like that, like Steamboat Willie, like that kind of
exactly
that kind of style. But
with that sort of music in the background, like the swingy, jazzy barbershop quartets and stuff.
If you ever watched some of those cartoons from way back when, you know that some of those scenes got pretty freaky, pretty scary, and kind of creepy. And Cuphead definitely embraces that too, with some of the way that the monsters, some of the ways that you have to face the monsters. You know, it can be a little freaky in its own way.
Super fun game, and our daughter has no idea how to actually like beat the game at all. She just likes to play it for fun. It's hilarious.
And find corners that she can oddly enough hide in and survive for minutes at a time.
So she'll just stand there. Since the platform game, you have to like move forward in the game to do anything. She'll just somehow find a spot to stand where nothing will get her. And so she'll just stand there and all these things will be passing by and nothing will happen.
It's a fun time.
It is. It's great.
But outside of games, a lot of really good things have happened in TV and movies as well.
Yeah, oh my goodness, so many good things. Some of my favorite things are some new TV shows that came out. There's some of my favorite ones. Star Trek Discovery came out this past fall, along with The Orville. And I know I've talked about these two shows briefly on other episodes as well, but they're just so good in their own right. Because Star Trek Discovery is a prequel series of Star Trek it's set in a time period before the original series of Star Trek during the Klingon War. So if you're familiar with the timeline of Star Trek, that's when Star Trek Discovery was set. So it's wartime. It's Star Trek kind of trying to figure out who they are in a way while they're fighting a war with the Klingons and still sort of learning space a little bit. They have a good presence there and they're with, Federation of Planets and everything, but they're still trying to figure out how to Star Trek, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's really interesting though. I think. And so that is also going to be on our 2018 list as well, because they did get renewed they got renewed for a second season, but they're also, they took a little bit of a break in the middle of their first season. So season 1 had, what was it? 9 episodes so far in it, and so it's chapter 1. So it's like the first half of season 1, and so the second half of season 1 continues later on this week. I believe it's Sunday.
Yeah. January 7th.
So January 7th, Sunday, is the next episode of that, and so that's great. That's going to be awesome. And so season 2, I think we can expect this fall as well. Other than that, though, The Orville, like I mentioned, is another show that started this fall, and it's kind of like a hilarious spoof on Star Trek. And it's Seth MacFarlane is the director and also the main star of the show as well. So he is the captain of a ship, and it's about their adventures and their mishaps and their bloopers and their blunders. there is a serious side to the show, but there's also just enough humor, hilarity, and Seth MacFarlane he does Family Guy, so you get some of that humor in there as well, and it's fantastic. I just think it's hilarious. So The Orville is another great one from 2017. Also talking TV shows, how could we not mention Game of Thrones season 7 coming
Seriously.
out? Oh my goodness. That was a doozy of a season, first of all.
So much good stuff.
And second of all, now we have to wait so long for the next season to come out. So there better be something in the meantime for us to do. So well, hopefully our 2018 list will help out with that a little bit. And then also Stranger Things season 2 came out as well. Now I haven't seen all of season 1, but I'm very close to finishing season 1 of Stranger Things. So I will watch season 2, and I think I'm enjoying it so far. It's not what I usually watch. It's a little bit on the serious side of things, but it's interesting. I like it. So that's all we've got for the TV shows. But movies, oh my goodness, movies. Like especially Marvel. Marvel kind of cleaned up in the movie theaters in 2017 because there were so many different Marvel movies that came out. We've got, the most recent one was Thor, of course. But before that, there was Spider-Man Homecoming. There was Logan, one of the Wolverine movies. So those were the 3 Marvel movies that came out. Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, and Logan. But then there's also DC, of course, with Wonder Woman and Justice League. We also had Blade Runner 2049 that just came out like a week and a half ago, it feels like, something like that. So that's a little, a sci-fi, it's a sequel to a 1982 movie, Blade Runner. So that's a interesting facet as well. And then, of course, how could we not discuss what I've already discussed? Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff happening in the movie theaters in 2017. So that's basically our year here for 2017. All right, now on to the nerdy excitement in 2018.
All right, so I'm pretty excited. One of the crazy cool games that I'm excited to see come out here that is going to actually be produced by BioWare, which has a lot of controversial dud material that has come out lately. Probably the most recent and famous one being Mass Effect Andromeda. The Mass Effect series is probably one of my most favorite video game series of all time. Has amazing stories, even great, voice acting and actor cameos in there. Awesome replayability and playthrough. It's just so much fun. Good
it's a really
storytelling.
Submersible game.
Submersible? Immersive?
Immersive, yes.
Submersive. You can go underwater with this game.
You can submerse yourself.
Go
inside
ocean exploring. No.
You can get lost in the video game itself. It's choose your own adventure movie.
Pretty much. You can choose whether you're kind of like the bad good guy or like the good guy, and who, like, what people you have like even relationships with. It's so weird but awesome and in depth and immersive, not submersive.
Okay.
But
if you insist.
But BioWare, known for their flop with Mass Effect Andromeda, is coming out with Anthem, and it is going to be another open world role-playing game, which is the previews that we've been seeing so far point to it being, one of the biggest sci-fi open world role-playing games, most ambitious projects that we've seen yet. So we'll see how that goes. It looks like it could be a lot of fun if it's done right. Otherwise, it might just be another Mass Effect Andromeda, but who knows? Maybe they actually pulled out the stops and used their A-team on this game, and it'll turn out all right.
Yeah.
Another huge game coming out is another sequel from Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be a console exclusive, just like the other ones in the series. So for all you console lovers, you got another validation for your console purchases there. PC Master Race. But Red Dead Redemption is coming out. They were going to say like early in spring, but then it just keeps on getting pushed back and pushed back. So Rockstar, whenever you figure out when you're going to release this awesome game, everybody's going to love it and you're going to make a lot of money.
Just do it already.
Just do it already. So Red Dead Redemption is another open world game. It's another role-playing game where you get to roam around and choose your story and explore the life of the character that you're playing. And it's set in like the early 1900s cowboy world.
Like Wild Wild West.
Like Wild Wild West style, out there
Fun
on
times.
riding horses and slinging lever guns and killing bad guys. Or maybe you're the bad guy and you're killing the good guys. It's your call because it's Red Dead Redemption and you choose what you want to do. And it's a lot of fun. I've played the first one, not all the way through, but I've played some parts of the first one. And it is a ton of fun getting to play cowboy.
That would be fun. Everybody, yeah. I feel like there's almost everybody is like a little bit of a cowboy at heart, you know, like they want to at least experience what it's like.
They want to live that adventure, you know?
Yeah.
That freedom. America.
Yeah. Kind of like, you know,
Horses,
I feel
freedom,
like,
and guns.
Yeah. Kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of people who want to see what it's like to be a pirate, you know? Like, you can just play a game and immerse yourself into it, not submerse.
I mean, if you're a pirate, you could submerse yourself.
Yeah, if you were a pirate, you could, I guess.
Out in the waters.
But anywho, like, yeah, that's the beauty of video games is you get to, you know, be somebody else for a little while. And, you know, that's fun. It's have a little escape and then come back.
Come back, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I've also heard rumors that we might see some sneak peeks at the PlayStation 5. Of course, it's not going to come out next year. That would be way too crazy soon.
Holy cow, yeah.
We're thinking maybe it'd come out in 2019, as soon as 2019, from some of the articles and videos that I've been seeing. So who knows? Maybe at E3 we'll see a preview of that.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we, of course, have some amazing movies coming out in 2018. I just saw on Bing, yes, Bing, I'm one of those guys,
Bing.
a preview of all the movies that are coming up. And I got legitimately excited for a lot of the ones that are coming up. So Emily's going to talk through some of those movies and even TV shows that are coming up here.
Yeah. So going over the movies real quick, we've got a couple of DC movies coming out next year. So we've got The Flash coming out from DC March 23rd, 2018, which also just so happens to be my due date with this baby. So that's fun.
Woo!
Yay, baby!
Baby!
So that's pretty cool. But anyways, that's when The Flash is coming out. And December 21st, 2018 is Aquaman's release date, which is going to be super awesome because both of them were in Justice League. So we got a little bit of a preview of those guys. And Ezra Miller is Aquaman. I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Ezra Miller?
So, no, Ezra Miller is the Flash, who is also Credence from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So, yeah. In case you didn't know, there was that actor crossover. He did a really good job as the Flash in Justice League. And then Aquaman is Jason Momoa, and which we've already discussed where he's from. But he was in Game of Thrones as Khal Drogo in the first season. He was also in one of my favorite shows, Stargate Atlantis, which is super awesome. So yeah, Jason Momoa as Aquaman. It was really cool to see Aquaman and the Flash in Justice League. So I'm excited for them to have their own title movies coming out this year. That's going to be super awesome. Marvel has a huge smattering of movies coming out here. Starting off with Black Panther in February. And then we've got Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Deadpool 2, and Venom, all having their own movies coming out in 2018. So that's going to be a big year for Marvel. Just tons of them coming out here. And then we're moving on with Star Wars movies. Solo, a Star Wars story, is coming out May 25th, 2018. So that's going to be good. They've got, it's a backstory movie on Han Solo. So no Harrison Ford. Sorry. He's done playing Han Solo, as far as I know. Anyways, Han Solo, it's Han Solo's younger years. So that will be interesting.
Definitely.
And this list would not be complete without Fantastic Beasts, the next movie in the series, The Crimes of Grindelwald. We've got stars all over the cast here. We've got Jude Law as young Dumbledore, Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. We've got also Eddie Redmayne, of course, as Newt Scamander coming back, Ezra Miller, also known as The Flash, as Credence, and Catherine Watterson as Tina coming back as well. And among other returning characters from the first Fantastic Beasts movie. So that's going to be really, really awesome. Plus, especially if you're just a huge J.K. Rowling Harry Potter world fan, it's going to just give a ton of backstory on the whole Grindelwald Dumbledore time period. As I've said before, I love a good backstory. So it's going to be fantastic. So talking about, though, some TV shows coming out or continuing in 2018. This is awesome. We've got Star Trek Discovery continuing, not only with the second half of season 1 this winter here, like we already mentioned, but also in the fall with a season 2. It has officially been approved for a season 2. So that's fantastic because it was really good. And Paul and I are super excited to continue watching it. Yeah. Next, we also have Doctor Who coming out with a new season in the fall with the new Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, as the Doctor. So this will be really, really interesting. Mm-hmm. Also, I haven't seen the new Christmas special yet from this past Christmas here. But I hear that the way that episode ended leaves an interesting transition for her to come in as the Doctor. So we'll see how things pan out with that. I'm interested. Indeed. All right. And another show, a brand new show that is set to begin in February of 2018 is called Stargate Origins. Now, you've heard me talk about Stargate before. I love Stargate SG-1. I love Stargate Atlantis. Paul loves all the Stargates. Mm-hmm. He's the one that showed me Stargate to begin with.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I have sunk so many hours of my life into this show, and I'm very grateful. Worth it. Anywho, Stargate Origins is a prequel series going over the escapades of the people before Stargate SG-1. So that would be an interesting thing, and hopefully they don't ruin things from Stargate SG-1.
That backstory,
though, they better not ruin things. Just saying. I'm really looking forward to it, though, because Stargate is great.
It just needs to keep going.
Yes, I would be really, really sad once I'm done with it. Like, you ever hear of the show hole, where you finish a really good series and you don't know what else to watch anymore because everything else was so amazing? Yeah, that's how it's going to be when I'm done watching all the Stargates.
And the Star Treks.
Yeah. I haven't finished all the Star Treks
all the Star
yet.
Things.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. All right. Another super awesome thing on a TV series on Netflix.
For all you book nerds
out there. All right. There's already a first season of Series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix, which is awesome. I saw the first couple of episodes, and I don't know why I didn't watch the rest of them. But there's a season 2, which is super awesome.
And Neil Patrick Harris just absolutely makes it.
Oh, my goodness. Neil Patrick Harris plays Count Olaf. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you need to read the books first. Please go read the books, because Lemony Snicket, pen name for a different guy. The author is not actually named Lemony Snicket, but that's the pen name of the author. So it's written by Lemony Snicket. There's 13 books in the series, and you should read them all.
I didn't, but the series is funny.
Paul didn't, but the series is funny. It's written for younger kids, but at the same time, it's really witty and fantastic. So that's a great book series to dig into. They're shorter books. They're not super duper long. Like, they're maybe a third of the length of all the Harry Potter books each. So they're not long at all. But they turned the books into a series, and it's awesome. Like, super good. So, and yes, Neil Patrick Harris plays like the main bad guy, and he's hilariously awesome. Like, he's a bad guy who's really bad at being a bad guy.
Exactly.
It's great.
Kind of like Dr. Horrible. And if you don't know Dr. Horrible, go check that out too.
Yes.
He plays a bad guy that's really awful at being a bad guy. That's a good way to describe it. And if you are a fan of like deadpan, dry humor and just a little bit of the wacky slapstick, this is a perfect show for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Series of Unfortunate Events.
Check it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Real great. So that's basically our nerdy excitement for 2018. So thanks for getting nerdy with us.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to join you and share this nerdiness with you. I'm excited for 2018, all it has to bring, especially for the continuation of this lovely podcast series here.
Paul, thank you so much for joining me. It was
my pleasure.
A real fun time. I really appreciate it. And maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Maybe.
That'd be fun. You're a handy person to have around, you know.
Do subscribe.
No, you stole that from somebody. You can't use it.
Okay. And if you think my wife is awesome, as I definitely do, you should continue to listen to all of her wonderful podcasts. Emily, where can you find those?
Oh, you can find them basically anywhere podcasts exist, specifically on iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Anchor.fm. And you can also find them on the Public House Media website at thephmedia.com.
Shout out to you, Public House Media.
Whoop,
Thank
whoop.
you for making this show possible.
Also, talk nerdy to us. Tell us what we should call you guys. I'm going to call you something special. So we need to figure out what you guys want to be called so that I'm not calling you something that you hate all the time. Let me know on our Facebook page, or maybe you could tweet at us on our Twitter, or look us up on Tumblr. You know our name, Beauties and Headcanon. You'll find us. It's all good. All right. That's all we've got for today. I'm Emily, and thank you so much for getting nerdy with us on Beauties and Headcanons.